Hey everybody, Michael here with another episode of the Deeks.ai podcast, quick dive edition. But for the very first time, there's a video version of this available. So if I can figure out how to put it on Spotify, I will. Otherwise, head on over to our YouTube page and you can stare at me and my computer screen for a couple minutes while we have some fun using audio creation tools. So let's get started. This is a little bit of a controversial topic because there's a lot that goes into the discussion when it comes to music generation and AI. Some people have no problem with it. Some people have a huge problem with it because more or less they're saying that it's just taking stuff that already exists and mashing it together, and there's massive copyright issues that come along with that. So although I'm going to have some fun and create some quote unquote create some music here, uh, I'm not ignorant to that aspect. I just want to preface this episode with a couple of notes. One, I've listened to, read, watched a number of popular, well established uh, musicians from bands and whatnot, where they've stated that they don't really care and that the way that they view it is that everything is inspired by something. When it comes to music in general, I've heard someone say that there's just a limited number of chords, and that them and every other band pretty much that ever has existed, they've been influenced by and in some ways copied others. And to kind of add a little bit of substance to that reasoning, I've had conversations with notable, famous, well-established um, musicians and bands where they kind of echoed that, and they've shared, when speaking about their music, they've said like, hey, when we were making, this album, we were listening to a lot of band A, B, C, and that's why this album sounds that way. Or, when we were working on, track 7, we were listening to a lot of Tom Petty or Tears for Fears or you name it. And that's why it has that vibe. That's why it's so different than, some of these other tracks. Or they've even said to me like, yeah, we were just listening to a lot of, song, A, and we just kind of took the drums pretty much from that, or we copied the guitar or the bass, you name it, from that. And those are conversations I had firsthand with band members that make me a little bit more comfortable with my views on this subject because I agree with that, but I'm still not like I said, ignorant to the opposition to that. And then also just in terms of art in general, whether you're talking about music or writing, novels or movies, there's always inspiration, and a lot of times there is this like iteration, where it's like, yeah, I've seen the story a million times. You can watch almost virtually any movie these days, and if it's an adventure movie, you could be like, yeah, that's kind of similar to what happened in Lord of the Rings, or oh, I saw that in a James Bond movie for the first time, whatever it may be. um, Kind of the crux of my view on this is that a lot of things are just iterative, and I've heard enough people and I've experienced it myself to be like, yeah, you're inspired by a lot of stuff. You take inspiration from other things. You see something, read something, hear something, and then when you work on your own project, that kind of influences it. How many times have we seen a movie or read a book where a popular character that was left for dead shows up at the last minute and saves the day, or comes crawling along, after the big bad guy is defeated, and we're like, oh man, wow, so and so is actually alive, awesome. It just happens so often. How many times have you possibly even heard a song and been like, wow, this song sounds a lot like this other song I like? So I just wanted to throw that in there because this is a big conversation. This is a big topic with, some possible big ramifications and people who have very differing views on it. So although I'm going to, you know, do this episode, I just don't want anyone to think that I do it lightly or view it lightly. But with that being said, um, I use this AI music tool called Suno, or at least that's how I think it's pronounced. That's how everyone pronounces it to me. Um, I use it for lighthearted purposes. Sometimes I'm just having fun, just creating weird versions of songs that I love, or sometimes I'm just making a special playlist for if I know I'm going to be doing a lot of work. So what I'll do just for the heck of it is, if I'm like, wow, I'm going to be sitting down and doing a lot of coding today, I might put together, a handful of songs that are a bit more upbeat versions of songs I like, to just kind of spice things up and add a little bit of a more exciting upbeat element to my day, to where it's like, yeah, I'm going to put together a bunch of high energy rock songs with pop elements and maybe some, I don't know, electronic aspects to it. And yeah, when I'm coding all day, I'll have these weird versions of songs to listen to. And then sometimes I use them for just personal projects that don't really have any stakes. I'm not making money off of any of this stuff I quote unquote create. I'm not selling it. I'm not even like publishing it anywhere. For instance, I put together a handful of tracks for a friend who had an idea for a Dungeons and Dragons campaign. I've mentioned this friend in previous episodes. And we just had this kind of goofy idea of taking real songs that we like that exist and making weird Dungeons and Dragony medieval, like, loot, versions of songs. And it's like, wow, I hadn't heard that Queen song done like that before, and it just kind of is a goofy element to add to his game, to where his players can kind of have a laugh and whatnot. And then, yeah, like I said, the biggest reason that I use the tool like this sometimes is just because I'm bored and it's fun. Don't really know what to do. It's 7 a.m. on a Saturday. My wife is still asleep. I'm three coffees deep, and I'm just like, hey, let's see what it would sound like if Queen was a heavy metal band. So just some fun, goofy ways to do it. Um, but let's dive into creating this, well, again, quote unquote, creating. I want to be on top of that version of a song that I love. So I'm going to show you the original song. This is by my favorite band called The Maine. The song is called Am I Pretty? Um, I think it's a really beautiful sounding song. I think it has a good message to it. By all means, check their music out, check this song out if you want. They're not paying me to say this. I just love this song and thought it'd be a good example of a song to use. But let's jump in and let's listen to the original version of Am I Pretty? So then that way, when we create these, like, quote unquote, create these remixes, you kind of have an idea of what we're dealing with here and how different and fun it can be.
Am I pretty? You think I'm ugly, and I know you hate my body. If you don't like just what I do, what you like, so maybe then you'll want me. Maybe then you'll want me. Yeah. Am I pretty? Do people like me? Yeah. Is there a party? Am I invited? It's such a pity. No one adores me. Yeah. So make me up and say that fits me. Tell me love. Oh, am I pretty?
All right, so there's a little bit of their song, Am I Pretty? Really good message in that song about being comfortable with yourself and all that. But anyway, um, I'm going to take the lyrics from that song and I'm going to plug it into Suno, and we will see what we get. I did a couple other attempts at this. It was very hit or miss. So we'll listen to one or two of my favorite kind of cuts that it did, and then we'll create one on the fly and see what it creates. So let's take a look at the prompt that I have. So as you can see in here, or if you're just listening, I can tell you I have the lyrics in the lyrics pane, or panel. And then for style, I put rock, country, electronic, folk, upbeat metal, sad male voice. Um, and yeah, we will create that version. But while we wait, let's listen to some of the previous kind of runs that I did, and see what came from those.
You think I'm ugly, and I know you hate my body. If you don't like just what I do what you like. So maybe then you want me. Maybe then you want me. Am I pretty? Do people like me? Yeah. Is there a party? Am I invited? It's such a pity. No one adores me. Yeah. So make me up in a shade.
First off, I love that version so much, and I just the first thing that came to mind is my wife, who's a huge country music fan. She would love that song so much, so I may have to play it for her. But yeah, I just love that. It's just so different. The voice sounds good. Like it's especially so I use the paid version of Suno, and I'm telling you, it is getting scary good. They're on V5 right now, and just in the like little under a year I've been using it, the improvements that I've seen are insane. But yeah, I really like that version. Let's check out a different version, and then we'll see what came from the two that we just generated.
You think I'm ugly, don't you? And I know you hate my body. If you don't like just what I do what you like. So maybe then you want me. Maybe then you want me. Am I pretty? Do people like me? Yeah. Is there a party? Am I invited? It's such a pity. No one adores me. Yeah.
So not bad. That one sounds okay. Don't love it, don't hate it. But still, again, way different than the original version. So let's check out the ones that we just quote unquote created.
You think I'm ugly, don't you? And I know you hate my body.
Okay, I'm gonna just cut that one off right there. Sometimes it does this. I already know I don't like that one. If that one was striking a chord with you, I'm sorry that I cut it off early. It just sounded way different than than what I'm looking for, I guess. Not that I'm really looking for anything, but I just know I wasn't looking for that. So let's give this other one a try.
You think I'm ugly, and I know you hate my body. If you don't like just what I do what you like. So maybe then you want me. Maybe then you want me. Am I pretty? Do people like me? Yeah. Is there a party? Am I invited? It's such a pity. No one adores me. Yeah. So make me up in a shade that fits me. Tell me love, oh, am I pretty?
So that one was much better. Still don't super love it, but I could definitely see myself like listening to that when I'm going on like a run or something like that. Just a bit more high energy version of a song that I like. And sometimes it's just fun, like I said, to just listen to these and see what was created. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I just thought it would be fun to do an episode showing how keyword showing, but hopefully you had fun if you were just listening. Really showing how I use AI just for fun. I use AI a lot for professional, work projects, but I also use it a lot for just uh, personal fun, like with no real goal. Sometimes I'll just have an idea for a project and I'll use it to create that project. Or sometimes I'm just kind of bored, waiting for my coffee to kick in, and I'll be like, let's just create some funny songs. What if Metallica was a folk bluegrass band? What would that sound like? And then suddenly you have this weird version of Enter Sandman that sounds awesome and has a lute and I don't know, a harmonica or something. Um, but yeah, that's it. Just wanted to have some fun. Like I said, there's real ethical questions that come with using AI, obviously, and doing stuff like this. And it's funny because I've actually been using it like this for a while just for fun, but now I'm starting to actually see it take off. And I'm seeing, crazy AI renditions of songs popping up on social media, in YouTube. And then so it's just weird to see because I thought this was just like a totally strange way to use AI, but now seeing like I don't know, uh, Eminem as a 50s funk soul track, like seeing that with hundreds of thousands or millions of views is like absolutely wild, you know? So there was this kind of weird element of like, oh, okay, so other people are doing this. I could see that coming, but it's this insanely popular. And then at the end of the day, seeing it become so popular is like, I don't know. Somehow it makes me feel even worse about it. Like somehow I'm then like, okay, if you make, like I said, a bluegrass or whatever version of Enter Sandman and it gets a million views, I'm kind of like, how do I feel about it getting those views opposed to the original song, the original artist getting those views or listens or whatever. But that's where I say, like I said, this is all pretty much for fun. So I don't upload it anywhere. I don't monetize it or sell it anywhere. Um, and if nothing else, I wanted to do this because it showcases so well in a real tangible way that I think is more easily digestible. You know, it's yeah, I feel like with AI, you can really see a lot of both the magic and the scary aspects to it when you have something to look at or you have something you can listen to. Um, so yeah, I don't know. That's it. I hope you guys had fun. Hope listening to the same snippet of the same song 50 times wasn't that boring for you. If you like the video aspect of this or you like the just fun, relaxed, let's mess with an AI tool aspect of it, you know, let Ryan and I know. Feel free to email us at deeks.ai@wfu.edu. And feel free to send me some ideas, send me some tools you would want me to check out. And that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching slash listening. And until next time.